there has been a lot of criticism about the new fractal, and I think some of it I can understand where it comes from. I do, but there's one thing that I just haven't been able to understand why people care about this as much. People are very mad, and they've been mad. They changed this, by the way. They're gonna change it. I've been very mad about the fact that you cannot revive people on the challenge mode of the new fractal. You cannot use the reviver, for example. They really don't like this, and I don't get it. I truly do not understand this. Because, guys, isn't this a challenge mode? Isn't this supposed to be hard? Where's the challenge if you can literally just buy an item that revives you? Like, it doesn't really matter that as much in other guys, in other events, in other fractals, because to be honest, they're not that punishing, and you can blast them anyways. And because they were so fast as well, even if you did use revive orbs, it's probably gonna be hard to actually use it in a correct way before the boss just resets. But in this one in particular, man, there's a lot of things that you can fix by using a revive orb. Like if you're in the challenge mode and you die, you probably have to reset, right? And if you use a revive orb, that punishment, it will not appear. It will not happen. It actually kind of gets ruined a little bit, the challenge in that boss, because like honestly, not bringing a revive orb in the new 100 cm, it is a bit of a grief situation because of how punishing it is. And I am very disappointed that you. I'm very disappointed that you're gonna be able to do it, right? I guess it doesn't really matter that much because for the title you want to have everyone alive, but I just don't understand why people are so mad about a challenge mode, a hard mode that it's optional. You know, being actually punishing and actually not using the revival. And I think I know the reason why. I've been thinking a lot about it, and I think it might have been the biggest reason why people don't like it is because it's close to strikes. I think strikes, those do not have revival, and you cannot revive people. And I think the fact that I feel like Fractal players are feeling like they're essentially being like, I think they think that the strike design is better, and essentially they're pushing it into fractals to make fractals more strike-like. And I think most people on Reddit don't like that. This is why we have I think that's why we had so much of an uproar about how the fractal works, about how every mechanic is essentially unavoidable. You have to deal with it, just like in strike sometimes. And that's why also they didn't like the fact that even though everyone says in that fractal is just like a circle, just like a strike. It's just a strike, that fractal. But I don't get that criticism, because like you still have to, I don't know, you still have to do jump impulse and kill things, and all the fractals also have like fucking you have to like do a little jump impulse in order to get to the boss and kill little ads in between. And of course, I guess it's only one boss in the fractal, and I think maybe that's a bit of a problem that they don't really like. But I mean, I don't know, I just don't see that much of a difference. And I think the thing that really started all of this as well was the conspiracy that essentially this fractal was a strike repurpose, right? Because I don't know if you know this, guys, but if you get the infusion, the only way to change the way the infusion, the stats from the infusion, you have to use a stabilized orb that you can only get from strikes, right? So that made everyone think that this actually was a strike that was made out of a fractal that was made out of a strike, which seemed to me a very, very weird criticism, because you probably don't want one way of doing instance content for each of the things, right? You probably don't want one thing for like dungeons, one way of doing instance content for strikes, one for raids, and one for fractals. You probably want one system that essentially works for doing all of them, all right? And use that one and develop that one to make it easier, so it the next instance content gets better and gets faster, and essentially you can pump content way more. Dev tools are important. If you have from each of the little instance content in the game, it is probably not a good idea, and it's probably gonna waste a lot of time, a lot of development time, right? And it could have just been that they use the same dev tools that they use on strikes to do this fractal. I mean, it still has it's still different than a strike, guys. Like usually strikes are just, you are there, You go to the boss, you attack the boss, you're done. Like in this one, you have to do a jump puzzle. There is an environment around it. There's nothing bad about using the same development tools that Strikes use to make a Fractal. There's just nothing wrong with it, okay? That way, they probably, I mean, hopefully one day, they get, more Fractals and more Strikes in the game, all right? Now, that might be a bit of copium, but it'd be nice if that happened, right? I think everyone would agree. And I think this whole pursuit of look at this. This is reason why they want Strikes to be like Fractals. Look, it's useless. Okay, look, you can criticize how the Fractal works. And there's nothing wrong with that. How do you know the mechanics, or how you think it should have more mechanics and everything like that? But trying to find things where you have literally zero idea of what actually happens in ANET, headquarters, or how they actually make the content is completely useless and a complete waste of time. If you don't like the Fractal because it has very punishing mechanics that you can't really ignore while using the combat, and you can't really interact with the fight with the combat, that's fine. Say that's fine. But this whole there's literally, if you look, even if you like Fractals, guys, there's literally no reason, okay, to not delete drive arrows. I just don't see anything. Maybe in normal mode you can argue that you could have them. I think that's fine. But saying that CM shouldn't have arrows, it's complete. There's no reason. Even if you like Fractals, guys, there's just no reason. It just sounds. And a lot of people say always whenever I send in chat, they always say well, it's a Fractal though. It's why are we putting the identity? Why are you putting the identity of Fractals in Rivaros? Is that really what it is, guys? Do you just like Fractals because they have Rivaros on it? That makes no sense. And to be fair, I do understand if you just want CMs to be very poggable and be very fast, be very easy, even if they're kind of hard, but not really. I think that's fine, but that's not because of Rivaros, guys. That's because of the design of the fight. Don't conflate your arguments. Don't fight for something that is completely irrelevant and makes no one, and it makes the game worse for everyone, right, guys? It just don't. There's no reason. Fight for other things. If you really want, fight for the mechanics. Fight for the combat interactivity. Fight for how fast you can pump CMs. Don't fight for it. Don't fight for the rival. It's useless. It's worthless. I guess you did win though, so I give you that. Okay, maybe I should stop. Maybe I should stop fighting for that because I lost. Okay, but you know what? I won't because I think I'm right. And hey, if you disagree with me on anything, you can come down, and tell me what do you think. Why am I wrong, guys? Tell me right now. Subscribe to the channel, debate me on Twitch, follow me there, and see you guys around. Bye bye, guys.